We are live here on Dirty Mo Live. Let's hear it, Dalton. Yeah, that was pretty good. Travis? Dang. He already opened his. You're
wait.
supposed to wait.
I can't wait.
We moved this up just so you can
You know,
drink
you've
earlier.
changed. You have.
How have I changed?
I don't know. Denny wins 2 races, and now you're all of a
Yeah.
sudden the guy who opens his beer before.
I was thirsty.
Ego on this guy.
Unbelievable.
Anyways, Andrew Curlin here with Dalton Greco, Travis Rockhold here on Dirty Mo Live. We've got a lot to talk about. First, I want to go back to something we were just chatting about before the show started. Travis, you said you set your alarm for 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you said you can go to bed at any time.
You said, what time do you have to go to bed to wake up at 6:30? And I said, well, if you set an alarm, I can go to bed at any time.
But, like, to be comfortable.
You didn't say that.
Okay, fine. Then to be comfortable.
I'm spot on 6:29.
You're spot on at 6:29 start.
Did I go to bed sober or not? That's a different question.
All right. Say you do.
I could go to bed at like 11:30 and wake up at 6:30. I wake up before 7 without an alarm.
Do you not value sleep?
I wake up before 7 without an alarm when I go to bed on a daily basis. The difference this morning was I had a few pops last night.
There you go.
Or were they pops or pops?
They were pops.
Okay, gotcha.
And tequila.
Anyways, people probably don't care all that
Not
much
at all.
about what time
They don't
we
care
wake
what
up
time
and
we
go to
wake up.
bed. This was we were talking about it, and then we were going live, and I wanted to finish my thought, Travis.
Yeah.
So there it was. We've got a lot of industry topics to talk about today, and some follow-ups. We're calling in the experts.
Yeah.
From a Dale Jr. download perspective, we were talking about medium plus steaks on the download. Well, guess what? We've got a professional gonna call in,
Like a legit.
like she's
Yeah.
legit.
She's
and
real
she's
deal.
going to tell us everything we need to know about medium plus steaks and how to cook it and what temperature it needs to be at. We're gonna set the record straight here on Dirty Mo Live.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. She reached out and said, she's like, I'm an expert on this. I was like, well, come on. Let's do it.
Her credentials back it up too.
She's got a long
Like it's
list
not like she's
of,
like I'm an expert.
No.
No, like
no,
legitimate.
She's not a backyard barbecue kind of
Yeah,
person.
no.
But first, we this all started earlier, I think, in the week with DBC, and then the conversation carried over to an office debate. I ended up tweeting it out. We tweeted it out from the Dirty Mo platforms, and we wanted to discuss it here on Dirty Mo Live. Do fans care about the regular season championship? And if they don't, why is that the case, and what can we do to make them care about the regular season championship, which then led into a whole conversation on what's a good fix for the playoffs? How do we make this all gel together? Because right now I feel like the top of the point standings is relatively close, and no one really seems to care about it. And Dalton, you put a poll out on Twitter.
Yep.
45% of the fans said yes, the regular season championship matters and I care about it. 55% said no, it doesn't.
That's fairly close.
Yeah.
I mean, closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought for sure it was going to be probably 70% no, it doesn't matter.
I agree. I thought it was going to be that, and also one of the reasons I thought that is there's only a couple drivers that have a legitimate chance at that regular season. So I figured fans of all those other drivers, they don't care because their driver's not.
But that brings into the point that DBC has made before of, you know, what's it? 20% of the drivers make up 80% of the fans, and then, or their fans, and then like vice versa. Yeah, so like your Chase Elliott, your Martin Truex, he has not had a great year, and that could be why a lot of people don't care. But
I didn't care about it when Chase or Larson was in it, though.
Yeah, it could be. But this poll that we did had over 1,000 votes, so it's a lot of. It's a decent sample size of fans to say, no, I don't really think it matters that much. Yeah,
and why do you think that's the case?
We don't put an emphasis on it enough.
You don't hear about it, or at least I don't. I don't see a lot of promotion on social media about it. I know there's a trophy, but that's about it.
What does a trophy mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that there's the 15 points. Right, if you win the regular season championship, you get 15 playoff points going into the playoffs. And I'm sure that's helpful, but
I mean, it basically all but guarantees you to the Elite Eight, right?
Right, but then doesn't second place get 10 points?
Yeah.
So you're really only getting 5 points.
So you're only getting 5 points over your competition.
Your toughest toughest competitor.
And maybe that's why I don't care all that much. And by the way, I think just in general, what I think we're giving away too many points, honestly. It's like, we're giving 15 away, then we're giving 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Like, enough with I feel like we're just giving away too many points in this situation. And I actually got a text from someone who saw the tweet, and they said a good solution to fixing it would be give 15 points to the regular season champion, and then second place gets nothing.
Was this person like an industry person or a fan, or I'm just
industry?
Curious. Industry. Okay. Yeah, that would be if you got 15 and nobody else got. That would be massive.
That makes it worth it.
That's 3 races worth.
That makes it worth it.
Now
I would put everything on the line.
Now that does guarantee you to the Elite Eight then,
which is basically a first round bye, and that's one of the things that we had on our list of things for fans to discuss. I like the idea of a first round bye because it's synonymous with other sports. It works for other sports, and I think that while I'm not trying to make NASCAR another sport, I just feel like that's heavy enough and marketable enough for people to want to grab towards. It's hard for me to grasp the concept of points and where people stand without having a sheet next to me every day. Whereas with records in football and baseball, I can kind of go, okay, the Mets are 101 and 60 or whatever it is. Like
the reason that I don't know if I'm on board with the bye is in other sports, you're not going to be competing where that car's still going to be out there and can still race for points to get an advantage in the future.
I mean, that's definitely fair. I just feel like the racing mid-season, it's still going to be good racing towards the playoffs. I just think like the racing mid-season would pick up. You would see a lot more aggressiveness out of these drivers if you knew like one car was going to get moved on to the second round immediately.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the more I've thought about it, I think whoever finishes at the top of the points probably needs to have some sort of reward for those first 26 races, or else why would you care about racing for the point standings?
Right.
But calling it a championship after 26 races when we're about to go start the playoffs just feels weird. And I know you chalked it up similar to like a conference championship or something along that nature. I just don't think it plays the same in NASCAR, especially when you have the full field. It's like a conference championship. All right, yeah. You got a little mini tournament. You're playing against your group of people, but this is a whole field thing. It's 26 races. You're competing against the same group that you will go on and play in the playoffs, race in the playoffs. To me, it feels weird calling it a championship.
Me too.
And the trophy. I get maybe there's a partnership aspect to it. It's a good place to sell. Hey, we're going to promote the regular season championship, the Coca-Cola regular season championship.
It's these guys.
But
we're seeing other sports add mid-season tournaments.
Yeah, but are you getting a ring for it?
Yeah, you're gonna get a trophy. Like, I don't think it's that crazy to celebrate. The thing is if we put emphasis and media celebrated the regular season championship, there's a trophy. There's all sorts of. If you build it up, I think it becomes bigger, or you maybe add a couple more incentives, then it's worth something. But right now, maybe not, because fans don't really hear much about it, and all you get is a 5-point advantage.
Do you think drivers care about the regular season championship? Like compared to
standing wise, probably to get those playoff points. But competition wise, probably,
Do you think when and if Martin Truex Jr. retires, right, he looks back on his career and goes, man, all those regular season championships,
never gonna cross.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not prestigious.
And that's another thing.
There's no weight.
I think winning a conference championship, maybe more on the college level than it would be on the professional side in like the NBA, NHL, that ends up in a stat category somewhere.
Right.
This is not going to end up in a stat category anywhere. That's where I feel like I have a problem with it. We had fans and industry members chime in on social media. Aaron Bearden, who's a great industry member, does an excellent job in the media corps in NASCAR. He tweeted out, "No one cares that the Packers won 13 games in the NFC North in 3 straight seasons from 2019 to 21. They care that they failed to reach the Super Bowl in any of those years. When you create a playoff format, fans tend to only care about the playoffs at the end of the year."
That's fair.
And that's I think is a great way of tying that up. Is like, why do we care about this championship when there's another way more important playoff that's about to start?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't think that championship is the right word. I think maybe like seeding makes a little bit more sense.
So what word we brought that? What word would you like?
I think you
okay, so do drivers care about the regular season championship? Duh is the answer. It's 3 extra wins.
Is that from?
That's from Denny.
DH himself. Okay, I mean that's.
Did you just text him?
Yes.
That's a fair
but
point.
Is it 3 extra wins
but
relative
him,
to who though?
What about like looking back on his career? Is he gonna go like, oh man, those 4 regular season championships?
Hold on, no. Denny just answered it. It's a competition thing.
Yes.
You could get rid of the name regular season championship, award the same reward, and Denny's going to care about it just as much as he does now.
Yes, I agree. You could
get rid of the trophy. I don't think he cares.
No, I don't think he cares at all about the trophy.
Sure, it's 3 extra wins, but relative to second place, it's only 1. Now, again, that's still significant. That's 5 positions on the racetrack when it comes to the playoffs.
I'm not saying it's not significant.
But I don't know. I just feel like the fact that we dilute the points so much throughout the rest of the top 10 makes winning the actual, like, oh, you get 5 points over your competition for being the top at the end of the point standings at the end of the year. That just doesn't seem like a lot to me. So we asked for solutions, right? We already talked about the all or nothing, 15 points to the winner, nothing else to second place.
I like that.
This one comes from Paul Humphrey. Regular season champ gets the number 1 pit stall in the playoffs for as long as they're eligible. Kind of like a home field advantage type feel.
So is it like as long as they hold first place?
No,
until they're
as long
eliminated.
as you're in the playoffs.
Oh, until they're eliminated?
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge. I thought it was only for 1 race. I'm like, that doesn't.
That is big.
Because
imagine making it all the way to Phoenix, and you're going to get the number 1 pit stall.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I kind of like that
especially
idea.
think about someone like William Byron, whose crew is
Lights
up
out.
there at the top.
Ty Gibbs.
And we saw him when he's got that first box. They don't miss.
Yep.
Well, before you think of those solutions, what about the other side of the argument? There's several people on here, talking about going back to the Winston format. And,
just straight up points,
just exactly
start to finish.
Playoffs being done with, and it is obviously the regular season then becomes major. That side of the argument.
What I will say about that, and I love the old format, and I think that the old format was great for what it was, but in sports and in everything else in life, if you don't change, you die, right? It's like if you don't move it, it atrophies. So like I think that it's inevitable that formats have changed, that we have a playoff, that there are things that are going to be changed about the point scoring format. But maybe there is like some homage that we could pay to that of like, okay, you won, like let's name it something, and not just the NASCAR regular season championship. I know we can't use Winston anymore, but we could say like the such and such championship. There are different championships in golf. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But there are different championships in golf. Maybe it's like, and it's the FedEx Cup and the Open, and none of them are necessarily sponsored, but it could be like the Coca-Cola championship.
This quote from Napa Racing Fan 927: "The regular season championship is their way of saying sorry if our regular system didn't reward a deserving champion.
Right.
Here's who should have been the champion."
Right.
So that to me, because there's the constant when we went to the new playoff format that we know now, the old school, classic race fans, I'm blanking out on the word. The purists, thank you. The purists didn't like that because it's like we're deciding our whole season on one race. Nothing else matters before it. Well, now you kind of get a little bit of a mix of both, and I think I'm okay with that. I love the entertainment value and the TV value that you get from the current playoff format. I mean, heck, I'll even go, this might be slightly unpopular, but I don't mind settling the championship in a one-race showdown.
You don't get the Hail Melon last year in the old format.
Yeah, no, you don't. And heck, someone maybe could have even been claimed crowned the champion by the time we finished Martinsville. And Phoenix would have meant nothing.
The only thing I would say is I think the final race needs to be moved on the location.
I agree. But that's a topic for another day.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix, go back to Homestead.
I agree.
Another option I thought about instead of the I wouldn't do it for every race in the playoffs, but you're the pole to start a race maybe.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
I brought that up too, that like those first 16,
you get that track
position. Seated in that 16 for the first race. Or, and then like whatever if you go up a position or down a couple positions from that race, then that's where you start the next week. Like you start, if Denny's in 5th coming into the first week of the playoffs, and then he DNFs, but he's all the way down to 14th in the standings.
I think that's actually a pretty fair way of what if whatever your seed is going into the playoffs, that's how they started the cars in every single race. So it's like if you win the regular season championship, yeah, you're guaranteed the pole. But say Truex, I don't know the current standings right now, but say Truex is second in points.
I think it's Truex.
Byron's leading the
Byron's
points.
Second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say it's okay. Byron's second in points. Truex is leading the points. Truex gets eliminated. Byron then gets reseeded up to that top spot. You know what I mean? But no matter what, if Truex and Byron are in the playoffs together, Truex is always starting in front of him and vice versa as it trickles down. I kind of like that.
Yeah. I like
seeding
that
in terms of starting position, if you're in it, you're going to start up front and you're going to start in X position.
I still want qualifying.
Yes. But
I could actually do away with qualifying if we go with that.
No, I still want it, but that's where I think the winner of the regular season gets that. But then you have to qualify so that, let's say Chase Elliott doesn't make the playoffs, but all of a sudden he's up there, he qualifies 5th. Like you got to deal with some people that aren't in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that is the fun aspect to racing in the playoffs with an entire field around you. You still have to race the rest of the field. I don't know. Those are some interesting ideas, though.
Should we put this on hold?
I think we should. I think we're going to hear from our...
I'm pumped about this.
Yes. So
I think we should.
We are going to call
Danielle.
Danielle. She is known as Danielle Diva Q.
Barbecue.
Diva Q Barbecue. I've been affectionately calling her the Barbecue Diva. I hope that doesn't bother her.
It's in her type. It's in her handle.
Hey, yeah. But so we're going to call her here, and I think our guys are getting on it.
And this is to settle...
the Medium Plus debate.
Here we go. I can't believe nobody
ringing.
in the control room had never heard of Medium Plus before.
Well, we're about to talk about it, Travis.
Hello, Danielle.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome to Dirty Mo Live. We're so happy to have you on.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
All right, so settle this for us. All of us here, we have no idea what the hell Medium Plus is.
No, that's a lie. This is
okay. Travis,
I've heard of it before. I don't think it's. I can't believe nobody in the control room had never heard of it before.
So Danielle, how common is this phrase? I guess.
It's bullshit.
Oh!
You heard it here first from the Barbecue Diva herself.
Yeah, we need to talk about this, guys.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. All right.
People,
So wait.
all right. So I'm gonna put it in perspective for all of you. Okay, in language that you will understand. Okay, and that everybody will understand. That's a huge NASCAR fan like I am. If you change the PSI on a tire, you change increments, right?
Yes.
Like in 5 degrees or whatever, right? So all those little small increments change performance and traction. So same thing with a steak. If you change small increments, you will change the texture, the way the flavor is, whether there's myoglobin in there, which is the juicy, watery stuff. It's not blood. It's called
my favorite
myoglobin.
stuff.
And you get all that good stuff, right?
Right.
And the people that are asking for a medium plus, typically don't really like steak, really, genuinely. And there's no medium plus because that just is a well-done steak. A well-done steak is anything over about 145 degrees. The reason that everybody typically that appreciates steak, and I'm going to absolutely say this, orders a medium rare steak is because that is actually the optimum temperature between about 130 to 135 degrees internal temperature where the most amount of juiciness is occurring and the tenderness factor is at the prime because the cell structure has just started to unravel, but it hasn't unraveled as much as it has gone to a well done or a medium steak. Now, anybody who truly appreciates a steak and doesn't slather it with A1, absolute dig there. Will understand that there is a massive difference in every 5 degrees. Massive textural, absolute flavor profile, absolute juiciness. But there is no such thing as medium plus. That is an overcooked steak,
So
everybody.
I have a question then, because Steve Letarte said that he likes it at 140. So does that so that 5 degrees difference from 135 to 140?
Yeah.
Isn't that then? At that point is it basically the same?
Medium. No, it's not the same. If you're in a medium steak, but that's not a medium plus. A medium plus is literally 145 up.
Right.
It doesn't really exist. There's only really, like 5 categories of steak. There's blue rare, medium, well done, aka cardboard, aka shoe leather, aka why are you cooking a good steak?
Gotcha. So
at that point, it's true. That's it.
So if somebody wants a temperature between medium and medium well, they're just wrong.
Well, here's the thing. It's their house.
Right.
And it's their flavor profile. And I mean, if Dale wants to put an A1 sauce slathered all over it, it's his house. He's paying the bill. The other thing, I just want to go out on a limb here because I was absolutely watching this and going, are you kidding me? And I will tell you right now, if I am at a good quality steakhouse, and of course, I've taught over 20,000 students how to barbecue and grill. So I might have a few inclinations on what a good steak, just a good, I might have a clue about what a good steak is. One of the key things for me is that if you are going to go and you're going to have a good quality steak at a good quality steakhouse, and if it comes out 5 degrees more, you're damn right I'm going to speak up.
Oh, okay.
I'm not spending that kind of money to get shoe leather. I'm not going to spend that kind of money as a consumer to get not what I want. But also that comes into play for those people who want a more well-done steak. If they're footing the bill, it's their house. They're allowed to choose exactly what temperature they want. I don't agree with it, and I certainly wouldn't enjoy it. But if somebody came into my establishment, or if I'm cooking at home and somebody said, hey, you know what? I only like a, medium plus steak done or a well-done steak, I'm going to say, okay, what is the issue here? Is it the juicy factor? Is it the texture of the steak? Because how you cook the steak also can affect the mouthfeel. And a lot of times people that don't like or appreciate a good steak at medium rare is because they don't like the gush factor. You guys know what I mean, right?
Yeah, it's a little squishy,
and it's the squishy. Yeah, it's that squishy thing that everybody doesn't like. So if they don't like that, then you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook them a steak reverse seared. I'm going to smoke it to 100 degrees first. I'm going to bring up the temperature nice and low and slow. That way that you have the most consistently cooked steak from top to bottom. And the other thing is that you remove a lot of that gush factor because of the consistency factor. A lot of times we convert people, especially with classes, that they don't want that medium plus steak. They just don't want the gush.
Right.
Do you think the average person can even tell the difference in 5 degrees?
I think so. If you are not putting slathered, sauce all over it,
right.
Because the steak gets drier. It's a fact of nature that as those cell structures unravel, it's kind of like a tight bunch of grapes. If you squash them all down really fast, they're going to lose all their juice. If you do it nice and low and slow, and you take care of that steak properly, and you cook it well, you're going to have a great mouthfeel to it in general. But yeah, I think if you are paying that kind of money, I'm going to pay attention to my bite. You're damn right I am.
That's awesome. So Danielle, if I were to walk into your restaurant and I was one of these guys that said, cook me a steak medium plus, what are you doing?
Yep. Are you paying my paycheck?
Yes, right I am. Okay.
Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, okay, yes, sir. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Meanwhile, in the back, I'm going to go, this idiot doesn't know how to order a steak.
So how do you cook it? Do you just send out a medium steak?
Yeah, so what I do is actually I put the temperature. I'd actually do it low and slow to begin with because I'm still going to give you a quality product. And, I use Traeger grills at home. Of course, everybody knows that. I would literally bring up the internal temperature really low and slow. I'd be monitoring it with a digital thermometer. One of the great things about technology as it progresses is that we can now monitor the internal temperatures of our meats. Whether it's using a meter probe or a digital read thermometer. One of the great things about that is that I'm going to bring it up low and slow so that it keeps as much of the juiciness in there as possible, because it's all about the shrinkage factor. Everybody in life knows that everything comes down to the shrinkage factor when it comes to cooking meat. You don't want to shrink up the meat too quickly because you lose all the juiciness. So the lower and the slower you can do it, that's you're going to end up with a better result. And then I'm going to hit it with some hot heat at the end, and I'm still going to give them a juicy steak. It's just it's going to take a little bit longer.
I gotcha.
Wow. I feel like I've learned so much.
So much.
Just from hearing you talk just there, and we will relay this information
Oh yeah, I'm
to
gonna tell
Dale.
Dale.
I mean, I think he's going to be very interested to hear it.
I think Latart's going to be. I don't know how he's going to handle
Steve
this.
Latar's going to be quite upset.
Yeah.
I mean, we did Dirty Mo Doe, and the first thing we talked about, we spent 5 to 10 minutes discussing this because him and the professor are medium plus people.
Well,
No. Why are they going to a high-end steakhouse? Grab a hamburger and have a good day.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that.
Shots fired. I'm okay
Shots
with defending
fired.
my position on this completely, but I've cooked a few tons of meat this year already,
So-
and that's a lack of appreciation of the meat at that point, as far as I'm concerned.
What
I
was
hear
your reaction when Dale said he puts A1 on his steak?
I'd heard him say that before in a previous one, and
Mm-hmm.
if he's paying the check, it's his house.
There you
If he's coming
go.
to my house. If he's coming to my house for dinner, it would be probably more something that would be, I think, in my opinion, more complimentary, which would be a smoke roasted, compound butter, something a little more delicious.
yeah.
But here's the thing. It's his house. If he wants to put it on there, all the power to you. I'm just not going to serve it like that in my house.
Wow.
love it.
I respect it. Well, Danielle, first of all, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about this steak.
Where can we go to find you?
You can always find me online, DivaQ, BBQ, across every single social media platform.
All
or on a
right.
plane going to teach somebody else how to grill and barbecue.
Well, I'll
Really
tell
is.
you what, I hope we cross paths someday because I would love to eat a steak that you prepare. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we get some more features here soon. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. I was taking notes the whole time.
Okay, good.
All right,
well,
y'all. Be
have a
blessed.
good one. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Danielle.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
I'm hungry now.
I am
Well, that settles it right
starving.
there.
Man, the barbecue diva brought it. And
Yeah.
that was awesome.
So
That was
here's
so
here's
cool.
what I thought was the most interesting. She's like, if you want medium plus, all right, she's gonna do some investigating. Like, what is it about your
Yeah.
steak that you
Yeah, who hurt you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who hurt you and how can I fix it? And then, so she's like, all right, well, if it's this, then I'm maybe do a reverse sear. And I don't know if
Right.
I'm using the right
No,
terms.
you are. You're good.
But like, she had solutions
Yep.
to the medium plus debacle.
Man, that was so cool. That was like listening to like the
That was
Chad
awesome.
Canals of steak. Like,
Yeah,
tell me how to.
seriously.
Like,
I learned a lot.
Yeah,
I learned a lot.
I
exactly.
learned so much.
I am also a medium rare, no steak sauce kind of guy, so I feel like we would get along.
I'm a medium guy.
That's fair. That's fair. I just like
Medium
to
as well.
I like to have the steak how it's intended to be, and that's like from her. She said a steak should be
I'll
cooked
admit,
medium rare.
I was ignorant to the fact of. I assumed that all of that was blood too. The juices.
yes,
I thought
yes,
every
Nope.
bit of
totally
that was blood.
No
yeah.
blood.
I was until
I'm-
TikTok. I saw a video told me.
So,
I'm
yeah,
telling
that,
you,
that
if
may
you-
have changed a few things.
If
for
you
me.
don't order your steak
Yeah.
medium rare, try it once. Maybe go down to medium and then go to medium rare. It is the best way to enjoy a steak, especially at a good.
I'm gonna order it
steakhouse.
I don't
medium
think I would've.
negative.
Yeah,
medium
yeah,
neg-
medium
blue.
negative. Yeah,
Can you order yours blue?
Oh,
I get mine rare every
Oh
once
yeah,
in a while.
I'd like
Seriously.
the steak tartare, please.
Yeah, I've had that too. It's nothing. You
I want
shouldn't be
a
afraid of a
heartbeat
steak.
on that thing.
Should be afraid of a steak. Yep.
So before we move on to go back to
That
the
was great.
championship real fast.
We have more from DH.
No DH. I reached out to my good friend Marty Smith, and he said in terms of historical and overall relevance, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So it's only in the moment for that season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It holds no value past the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we got
Speaking
some
of-
great
Like
perspectives
who,
here.
who won it
So-
last year? The regular
I don't
season.
know.
I think it was
Chase,
Chase
or
Elliott.
Larson.
It wasn't
It
Logano.
was one of the two. Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah.
I
so,
think it was Chase,
yeah.
but
Moving on from that point, and speaking about championships, yesterday was a big day for NASCAR.
Yeah,
and a lot of
Corey
us
LaJoy
fans.
going to stay at Spire.
Corey LaJoy is going to stay at Spire. No, the 2024
It is big.
is that 2024
Yep.
class of inductees for the Hall of Fame was selected, including Chad Canals,
Jimmy
Johnny
Johnson.
Allison, and one Jimmy Johnson, as well as I forget her name, but she was in the
Jenna Guthrie.
landmark. Jenna Guthrie.
yeah.
Thank you for the landmark award. And it came out that JJ was not voted in unanimously.
Show your faces, cowards.
I
4
want
panelists.
names. I want the names of these people
Yeah.
because I don't understand how you can look a man in the face who's won 7 championships in NASCAR and not vote for him.
Yeah, I was certain we were gonna get a unanimous vote, but
I knew
then
we weren't.
after
I knew we
the-
weren't.
After the Jeff Gordon debacle, where he wasn't voted in, I feel like those same people who did not vote for Jeff Gordon are going to use their same stupid reasons to not vote for Jimmy Johnson or Chad Knaus.
Yep.
I'm okay. I could hear a reason. If someone wanted to explain why they didn't vote for Chad, I'm willing to listen and then decide if they were wrong or not. The Jimmy, there isn't a reason.
There's no reason.
It's a respect
There's
thing.
no reason.
So Denny Hamlin tweeted, and I think this is a great way of teeing it up. He said, "To be a panelist is an honor that should be taken seriously. What 4 people did today is a joke of that honor, and for what? It can only be a couple of reasons a person would decide not to give someone like Jimmy their vote." And he gave 5 reasons. 1, you don't like them. 2, you weren't voted in unanimously and you're repaying the favor. 3, you feel as though they will have other years to get in and you want to vote for someone in their final year of eligibility. 4, you voted for your buddy instead. And 5, you haven't watched a race in 20 years. That's what Denny had to
love
say.
5.
Dude, I was ready to run through a brick wall after he said that. I was like, let's go.
But, yeah, and I've heard number 6, if I were to add to that list, is Jimmy's going to get in, so you're going to try and give your second vote to someone else. But here's where I even disagree with that. Chad Knaus is a very clear, in my mind, second pick.
Yeah.
Agree.
So it's like, who else are you voting for that you think is going to somehow leapfrog Chad in this situation?
Let me put myself in someone's, let's say, I think another person on there was Jeff Burton, right? Definitely phenomenal race car driver, nothing against Jeff, just putting myself in his shoes. If I found out that someone was like, "Hey, buddy, I didn't vote for Jimmy, I voted for you," just letting you know, I'd be like, why are you pitying me? Like, why? Like, don't give me the pity vote. Like, vote. Like, Jimmy Johnson won 7 damn championships, 5 of them in a row. I think that, like, he deserves a little bit of credit, and don't give me 3 votes out of pity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let me earn them. Unfortunately, you have to go up against that guy. But I just didn't. I don't agree with that
To
sentiment.
the people that are like, well, Chad had Jimmy, so it's kind of like the
Oh,
Bill Belichick.
come on.
One of the other things is look at all the people that Jimmy won or Chad won was crew chief for Jimmy, but also all the other people that have come up through the industry because of him.
Yeah.
Like his coaching tree of people.
Yep.
The impact. It's not just Jimmy that he's had. Like he's done a whole lot more with the sport than just that.
Yeah.
I think a dynamic duo like that should be celebrated.
I would say like if Carl was up for it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Had he had a championship, then I think it could have got.
Maybe he could have leapfrogged Chad.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, I could
Although
see him
I don't know,
leapfrogging
man. Chad Knaus to me seems like a first ballot. I mean, he was, but before going into it, is first ballot Hall of Famer. Like just with that legendary of a career.
I'm gonna ask a question. It might be stupid. Is Chad Knaus on your Mount Rushmore of crew chiefs?
Oh, yes.
Is he? I would say so.
Yes,
I mean, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So then, like, how do you not vote? Like, there's the Mount Rushmore. They get in first ballot. Like, that's just the way it is. So Jimmy and Chad were dynamic. And if you were a fan of NASCAR, like Denny said, in the last 20 years, I don't understand how you don't vote for Jimmy Johnson.
And this whole thing that Richard Petty didn't get unanimous. Richard Petty also came out and
neither
said
did Dale Earnhardt.
there was also
And that was the first group, by the way.
There was a log jam, and so I believe Richard said vote some of those other people in first. So he came out so this whole Richard Petty didn't get in on for unanimous. So nobody should. Is this dumb?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so
but
stupid.
I think the votes should be made public.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that.
Well,
I think so.
through a slow process of elimination, we've seen people slowly tweet their ballots out showing they voted for Jimmy and Chad, so you can rule them out. We're going to get down to the final 4.
And it's not like there's 1,000 voters. It's like 100 or
No, it's like 57.
There's not many.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. But hey, all of that cast aside, I cannot think of a just more a better representation of a Hall of Fame class this year. I mean,
no, I was tough.
What an unbelievable this is such a great group. Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus, Donnie Allison.
Yep.
Those are your 3 Hall of Famers going
and Janet
in.
getting the landmark.
And then Janet Guthrie being the landmark. Perfect. I mean, that is literally, I feel like, the most perfect ballot we have had.
Yep, I would agree.
I mean, modern times. Obviously, the first induction
was
you got to get all the big players.
I mean,
but this feels just so right on all
my
accounts.
guy
Banjo Matthews. Hey, he finished in second behind Donnie Allison.
I'm gonna start
Banjo's time could be starting.
I'm pushing for him next year.
Oh, yeah.
I need him in.
His time could be coming up pretty soon. I mean, we heard Donnie Allison how vocal he was for Banjo Matthews.
People need to.
We've heard
we
about
had Donnie on 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
And we had him on just a few weeks ago.
People
talking
need to go
about,
look back and listen to that.
Yeah, just talking about what it would mean to be in the Hall of Fame and how crazy is it. 2 weeks later, he's inducted into it.
Donnie was such a nice guy when I got to talk to him
out
in the lobby. I mean, he just carried a conversation, and it was, like I said, it was like we were like old friends. I mean, just like he'd known me for years. Super cool to be able to talk to someone from the Alabama gang, just that's truly is history right there. And for him to make it in, I'm proud. Obviously I didn't watch NASCAR back then because I wasn't born back then, but it is the history of the sport. He deserves to be in. I'm happy about that. But yeah, we're joking a little bit about, I want names and whatever, but
no, I do. I'm not joking.
I understand, but like, yeah, I just don't get it. I don't understand how you don't vote for Michael Jordan for, that's
even
it's
just
that kind of stuff.
I mean, we talked about Derek Jeter didn't get in.
Derek
So
Jeter
like you're going down, if I'm on that ballot or if I'm voting on that panel, you know how cool it is to forever be able to say I was one of the small group of people who voted Jimmy Johnson into the
Hall of Fame. Yep.
Chad Knaus, Donnie Allison.
I've got a conspiracy theory.
What do you got? Oh, no. I don't even want you to say this. This is so stupid.
Well, now I want to know.
No. This
What if
is not
Jimmy
even
told
worth,
4 people not to vote for him to create more buzz about it?
This is not even worth. This is not even worth the time.
No, that's not the case.
I know he
but it
would
would be funny. It would be funny if that was the case.
I'm gonna adamantly shoot that one.
If it was one person, then maybe I could run with it for a little
You're
bit.
talking about the nicest guy.
Oh, I know. I'm joking.
In the NASCAR garage, the smallest ego of a 7-time champion ever in Jimmy Johnson. Like, it's unbelievable. He walks around. You would never guess he's a 7-time champion.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Happy for him. Happy for that group. And just that duo, man. It's just perfect.
It's Jordan and Pippen almost.
Yeah, going in together.
Except for these two get along.
They still like each
yeah,
other.
well, but you know what I mean. It's like that. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Where are we at? Do you have bets to watch?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Dirty Modeau.
Oh, yeah.
This was an interesting week.
If you can do it in like 2 minutes.
Watch out for Harvick.
Okay.
This is a crazy. 5 of the last 7 at Michigan. Harvick's won.
All right.
Yeah.
And Fords have won the last 8.
Okay.
And when was the last non-Ford?
2015.
With Kenseth.
No.
I thought Larson came sooner.
Larson won.
17. Larson in 17.
Kenseth in 15. Busch in 11.
Oh my gosh, you guys are like on it completely. Insane.
But yeah, we have a lot. Dirty Modeau just came out. We have a lot of matchup bets to take a look at, and that's the matchup bets is where Chopper is at his best. He was 8-4 on his bets last week. He's crushing the matchups. Past few weeks he's missed the winner, but that's a little harder. But the matchups, especially with the professor's predictor model, it really.
I'll say this though: was this mentioned at all? If there's ever a year where it won't fall Ford's way at a track they're dominant at, it would be this year.
Might be.
Anyone ever say that?
We were talking about the Toyotas with Truex and Hamlin, but I mean, I took in our What's the Bet segment, I took Ford's over Chevy. Letarte took Ford over both Toyota and Chevy.
Oh, wow.
So, like, that would be my only worry is Ford historically is good at this track. But, man, they're just not good this year.
I mean, that would really be telling if they don't show up.
But it's also, you got to think about
it. It would say a lot about Ford.
Who won at Fontana?
Kyle Busch.
Like a similar-ish type track, you know.
Yeah. Wasn't it Kyle Busch?
2 mile.
Yeah.
It was Kyle Busch.
So we'll see.
I don't know. I would I'd be skeptical about Fords, but like you said, if there's any week for Harvick to win, it's going to be this one.
Dirty Modeau is out right now.
Awesome.
It actually got posted while we were doing Dirty Mo Live. So go
Good
listen.
stuff, folks. Hey, we learned a lot. We discussed a lot, and I'm going to go order
I'm going to have a steak tonight.
Steak
Yeah.
the correct way.
Shout out.
I'm going to have to go to Danielle,
Yes.
and I'm going to have to go to her establishment and probably order a
I'm
steak
gonna have
from
to
there.
buy her book or something. I think she's
Yes,
got a book out.
I think she
so,
does have a book out.
Yeah, follow Diva Q Barbecue. Danielle, that was great. Thank you so much. I hope we get more people to call in. That was so much fun.
Yeah, that was great.
So
we got to get more callers now that we know we can do this.
Maybe the next time we'll have the commish DH. Maybe he could call in at one point.
If Denny's ever got anything on his mind but can't make it over here, call in,
but I'm like, save it for the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, come on. Yeah, no, just kidding. All right, follow us on social media, Dirty Mo Media, and leave us some reviews on some podcasts. Buy our merch. Send us presents. I don't know. We got more stuff to plug, but I think that's going to be it.
Steaks.
Send us steaks.
That's it.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next week.
See ya. That was fun.
Hey, Micah.